Hi guys, hello, welcome. I've gone like a minute early because I'm too excited. As soon as you guys jump on, can you just send me a comment, let me know you're here, because I want to make sure that I can see the comments. I'm going to pop it on my phone anyway, but I really want to make sure that I can see everybody as they're typing. So this wonderful masterclass. Hello, hi Sarah, my gorgeous girl. I just want to make sure that I've got you here as well as you getting me. So let me know as everybody jumps on. I'm not going to hang around too long because I also, as much as this is going to be an amazing masterclass slash story slash journey slash healing, obviously want to make sure that we're not overrunning hugely, right? We've all got an evening to have as well. Although you're spending most of yours with me. You lucky things. So as you are coming on, just say hi. I would really like this masterclass to, I'm a fidget bum by the way, I would really like this masterclass to be as interactive as possible. So anything that I say that resonates with you, or anything that I'm talking about that's pinging things off in your head, or you just want to comment on what I'm talking about this evening, pop it in the comments. If I don't see it and respond to it straight away, I'll come back to them. It's just really good for you to be here, and if you are here, to get involved, get engaged. So yeah, but it is 1 minute past, and I know that I will be getting a little bit overexcited. So, did everybody get a chance to just have a look briefly at the pre-work? So I put in, hi Zoe gorgeous, lovely to have you. Did everybody manage to have a look? If you scroll down in the group, this morning I put like an excited post up, but also there's a couple of questions on there just for you to kind of have a minute to ponder, think about it, just be mindful of how the subject of enoughness has affected you in your life. Like, I would love to know. You don't have to broadcast it in the comments if it's personal to you. Like, that's okay. But also, it's really important. Obviously, I want everybody to turn up and just receive what they're ready to receive from tonight. But at the same time, if you are endeavouring to stay for the healing, it's really something to really think about, which is to be in the energy of what you want to receive. And that is, you know, we're looking at this subject of enoughness tonight, which will come into play. But like, ask yourself those questions. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to, because I copy and pasted them here just in case people that joined didn't have them, I'm going to put them in the chat. So if you haven't had a chance to look at them, they're there, so you can just have a little brief look through. There we go. I didn't press enter. So welcome to tonight's masterclass and story, really, and journey that I've been waiting to share with you for so long. Oh my gosh. So you probably would have noticed over Christmas, by the way, this masterclass is called Enough is Enough, and that will become apparent soon. But this, I've been waiting to talk about this for such a long time. I had a really quiet period in this group over Christmas, and I always made it quite clear in this group that I would be here when I needed to be. So when I was being guided to come in, I would come, so on and so forth. However, that things have changed and I can't wait to explain it to you. So welcome. This will be here in the group forever, so you can come back and watch it whenever, if you miss bits or you need to dash off or come back. So this is here for you for whenever you need it. I wanted to extend from my heart to yours does he? Oh, it's such a good piece of music, isn't it? Good old meditation. It's very relaxing, isn't it? I wanted to extend from my heart to yours a really big warm welcome. If this is the first live that you've caught with me, then welcome from me to you. You caught me at a really good time because my work has just completely quantum leaped. I'm going to explain all that this evening, but obviously it would have been great to catch me before, but everything for me at the moment is gathering momentum, and I'm really excited to be able to share it with you all. So tonight what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about what's been going on with me, the healing that I had to go through, how it's relevant to you in your life, and how the thread, this golden thread that loops through the energetic space of enoughness, and how it wraps itself into your life, how it threads itself through your life, your experiences, and just how important it is to initiate some help for yourself with that. And I'm going to help you with that, because then we're going to lead on to a beautiful, beautiful healing, which I will be doing. It's Theta Healing led, because my work is Theta Healing led, but it veers off a little. So it's going to be incredible. And as I do with all my sessions, when I'm teaching, when I'm holding these spaces, if I'm doing anything that involves my work with another, and even myself, the space is intentionally set. So the energy is set. There are things in place for protection, so that we're all here and able to explore, able to share in the highest and best way that feels good. It should feel like a good energy as you come in here. I've been coding your laptop or your phone, whatever you're watching me on, with love and light and comfort, so that you, as you are listening, as you're soaking in what I talk about this evening, you're really, really in the energy and in the space of comfort, of being able to receive, of being able to hear, maybe beyond what you have been able to hear before. So I trust, if you're here, that you have come here for a reason. You either want to partake in the healing, you want to listen to my story because you're nosy, my kind of person. I'm like, oh, what's been going on? Or you are here because you want to just get a little bit of an understanding of what it is that I've been through and how that reciprocates out. I'm coming to realize that a lot of my work is for the collective, and I'm learning that through trial and error. So a lot of the time, if I'm doing some of my own work, I get told by my team now that this isn't just for me. This needs to be talked about. So in one way or another, that's coming around. So this is for everybody. Even if you just come in here and you just listen, you don't partake in the healing, there's something here for you to sit with, to contemplate beyond tonight. So I welcome you here to that space. So let's get started, my darlings. So let's start at the very beginning. Very good place to start. Oh dear. Good old Sound of Music. So 6 months ago, in the summer last year, I entered this space of real expansion. And this was something that was coming through to me regarding my business initially. So to those of you that don't know me, I'm an energy coach. I'm moving into a new title, which I haven't even got yet, but there's something more that I'm here to do, and it's all starting to make sense now. I'm an educator, so I teach Theta Healing, and I have been on this quite unique journey, and I know that anyone on this spiritual path has their own unique journey. Now, 6 months ago, I started to deepen this, and I worked with some incredible coaches, and I'm very, very passionate, being a coach myself, in being able to allow in people to help you in their area of expertise, right? Everybody needs a little bit of help. I'm working with a highly gifted person at the moment, because she knows, and she says it in a very, 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 which is a good way of saying it, which is, we all know we need to go to the gym. We all know we need to go to the gym, but sometimes we need the PT to help us get through it and to help us and motivate us and see things that we hadn't necessarily seen before. So that kind of context. Anyway, I've been working with these amazing coaches and lots of little nuggets were happening. I could feel this expansion within myself in the direction of my business. I was excited. I didn't have all the answers, but there was all these ideas that started to come. They were starting to turn up, all these little wisps of ideas, and I was like, I could do that, and that feels really good. And I've been working a lot on my human design and using my motor as a manifesting generator. If you know anything about human design, we have, like, as generators, we have these motors that work when we start feeling good, when we're using our sacral energy. All this was starting to turn on. My teaching was starting. I was teaching the most fabulous students, and all this stuff was fizzing. It was getting really juicy. I didn't have any steps forward, but I had all this stuff, right? Who can resonate with that? Like, who can resonate with looking to do something, not having the exact steps, doesn't have to be in business, but looking to do something, then being like, I want to do that, I want to do that. You're online, you're scrolling, you're like, that sounds good, I'm going to do that freebie, I'm going to do that course, I'm going to do that masterclass, I want to do all of it, I want to do all of that, and I want to see what it feels like. And, you know, it can get a little bit overwhelming. Oh my God, right, Sarah? Like, I was the same. So I had all this stuff coming in and I was like, what else can I do? I feel like it's expanding, and I'm going to start looking here, there and everywhere and really waiting for the universe to show me the path. Show me which one it is. Like, I'm being open, I'm excited. It all feels good. Like, show me the direction. I'm ready. I'm looking, I'm scrolling. And there was more and more and more stuff. More and more stuff that came through, and I was just like, okay, well, I want to do it all, and I don't really know which one, so I'll do that one, and then I'll do that one. Then I started not really doing them. I was signing up for these courses and then not participating, right? Not doing the work. So I'd get all the emails coming through to help, and I just wasn't doing a lot of it. So this was getting towards Christmas time. And I then started flapping. I then got to Flap City. And I'd planned to have Christmas off because I wanted to spend it with the family. And normally, leading up until now, running my own business for the first 1.5 to 2 years, I'd always said, hi Emma, look who it is. I'd always said, that I was going to take time off over the holidays, whether it's half term or Easter or Christmas, and I'd planned it out, and then I would end up working because I'd have a client and I'd think, I'd want to see the client. I wanted to make sure that we had enough money and all those kind of things. So it got to Christmas and I was like, I am absolutely not doing that. This is time with the family. My dad lives in Cornwall and I live in south of England, so it's a good 5-6 hours away. He was coming up for the first time in years, and I was like, I am not missing this. I am going to be having Christmas with my dad. So I planned for some stuff to happen on its own, and I sat back and I had Christmas off. Now, during this time, I had a wonderful time with my family. It was a beautiful Christmas. It's been way too much money, but it was a beautiful Christmas. And I started flapping. I was at this point where there was so much that I wanted to do. I could not lean in, listen, and hear the guidance. I couldn't do it. Even though I was teaching people to do it, I could not do it for myself. I got really stuck. And I then started flapping so much that I was wondering if I was actually doing the right thing. Now, I know deep down that I'm here to help people heal, and this in one way or another, and I knew that I was also here to teach. So I did manage to kind of consciously become aware and talk myself around this, and I was like, no, I'm definitely here to do this. I want to do this. It's important. So I carried on with Christmas. Now it got to January, and over Christmas and having this rest period, as I know a lot of you will know this, when you rest and you loosen the grip of what it is that what you're yearning for, when you loosen that grip, we create the space for the ideas, for the masculine energy to slow down, for the feminine energy to rest and to start receiving, start hearing, start listening, start downloading ideas and downloading the coding that we need to carry on, right? So I've got to Christmas, got to January, I'm resting, and I'd had these ideas come in to extend my work within healing. But none of it made sense, and I was getting really frustrated. Now, as a manifesting generator, my not self theme, so the theme when I'm out of alignment is frustration, and I could start to feel this creeping in. And then the flapping got worse, and then it eased off, and then it got worse, and then it eased off, and I was getting myself into this state. So up until this point, I'd certified as a sub-educator in 3 amazing modalities. I had actually decided to drop one because it didn't feel aligned anymore. So I now no longer teach quantum holographic echo healing. It didn't feel right to me anymore. I love the modality. I will still use it when I feel called to as a practitioner, but to teach it, I just wasn't feeling that connection anymore. And I thought, I need to loosen my grip, allow the space for new to come in. So I very kindly and with love let that go. I didn't want to let go of the other two modalities that I taught or teach, so I kind of let them be. And we got to, we're in January, and the searching has got even more overbearing. I know something's on the cusp, something's coming in, like my journey, the who I am, who I wanted to be, it's starting to come in. My purpose was starting to whisper. I just could not hear it. And I was searching even more. That was creating more uncertainty with who I was, and it was getting to a point where I was starting to get emotional with it. And I caught a wonderful lady who's just turned up, Emma. I caught her live. I've been meaning to catch her, and I just always had missed her live, and I didn't always have the time to rewatch it. And it just so happened that I was there she is. It just so happened that I was there. Her internet, her comments weren't working on her live, and I sat there and I was like, I'm staying because they're going to start working and I need to speak to her. And they started working. After a little while, she was like, I'm just going to carry on. So annoying. Weren't you, Ems? And eventually we got to that stage where she was like, oh, I can see your comment. And I was in there. Emma is an incredible woman who has an absolute razor sharp insight and connection to her team and the work that she does. And I asked my question to her, and some of the things that she mentioned I needed to hear, and I thought, this is it. I had a little bit of money left in my account, and I was like, I need to have a session with her because I feel lost. I'd got to the point where I'd felt lost, even though I knew deep down that there was something more there, and that I was in the right place. The noise was so loud. It was so loud. Now, we then had a session together, and there was a couple of things within that session that was mentioned that really touched a sore spot with me. And this is where I want to get really open and honest with you all, because this is the crux, this is the core of what we're talking about today. Now, Emma asked me a few questions and I couldn't answer them. I've struggled so hard to answer the questions that she was asking me within this. It was almost like it's like someone was asking me a foreign question and I was trying to think of the most simple answer. I just couldn't get my words out. But there was a few things that Emma mentioned, which was about enoughness. Now, I had realised in this moment, and in the moments coming after, that I had really been looking outside of myself. And it wasn't until I'd started really looking into the story of enoughness that I realised how much I'd given my personal power away to social media, to every other coach. I hadn't been listening to the callings of my soul because I didn't know how. I'd been connecting through the modalities that I teach, but I had been doing it for others. I hadn't been doing it for myself. I did in the start when I started learning, but my whole work, my whole expansion had been geared on other people. And when I say that and I look back on it now, it wasn't just, it wasn't just about how I was serving other people, because yes, I'm here for that. It was about, is what I'm doing enough? Am I a good enough psychic? Am I a good enough healer? Am I going to be able to give them what they are hoping that they receive, or going to receive from a session? Are the containers that I've set up enough? Is there enough work in there? And this was where I was at initially. So we talked about that. We ended the session and I went away. We had some time afterwards that we worked together through, but I went away and I sat for 4 days in tears. 4 solid days, broken, because time after time after time, I was being given and shown all the times that I'd never felt enough. It started as my business. And once Emma and I had opened that portal together within my heart, because it's connected to soul, and this is a soul purpose journey that I'm on, as we all are, as you all are, which is why you're here. I really started to understand that there was this thread of enoughness that had always been there. And for 4 days I was being reminded of all these times that I'd never felt enough. I'd never been a good enough friend as a child. I never looked enough because I was the only one with bright red hair. I overcompensated for that because I wasn't enough. I overcompensated by trying to be funny and trying to be the class clown. In my relationships, I ended up overgiving as a teen because I didn't ever feel that what I was in that point aesthetically was enough. My first long-term relationship, it ended up breaking down, but part of that reason was because he found somebody else. Didn't feel enough. And at one point, I really tried to convince him. And I was turned down. I wasn't enough. I'd had a termination in my early 20s. Late teens, early 20s. Wasn't enough. I didn't have enough to be able to fulfill the role of being a mother at that point. I didn't want to either, but there was all of this stuff that was starting to present itself. And then we come on to more themes of enoughness. I don't have enough. Is there enough of me to give to everybody? Hi Sarah. Is there enough of me to be able to sustain what I'm here to do? This story of enoughness that was laced as this thread through my life, through so many different layers, through so many different guises, through so many energetic standpoints, this landscape of enoughness that this thread has woven through my life in this core lifetime, I'd acknowledged at some point, but I'd never ever dealt with. And I had always regarded myself, it's only up until very, very recently that I see this differently now. I had always regarded myself as someone who just got on with it. Like, things don't really bother me. You know, my parents split up. I was sad, but I knew that they couldn't be together. I knew that. I've always just got on with things. Some things I don't remember, so maybe, yeah, there's a little bit of emotional, you know, subconscious is hiding some of the emotional stuff back there. But I've always just been that. I've always been a very positive person, always. I'd never ever given myself enough time to actually ask myself those questions. And I sat for 4 days in tears, allowing and watching all of this stuff play out. It was really hard. And I know that some people on this healing journey have sat for longer than that. I know that the dark nights of the soul can be longer than that. I know that those moments where you don't feel part of anything can be longer than 4 days. But the way that I work and the way that I move through things can be quite condensed and quite quick, but quite meaty. And I sat with this and I started healing. I started doing the work that I've taught, doing the work that I've learned, doing the work that I've remembered in the last few years, but also not just what I've learned and taught and remembered from the last few years of what I've and how my life's changed and my career and what I'm here to do, but also what I've always been. The person that I've always been, that was laced within that thread through all of that enoughness, the duality that I hold of being who I am but not being enough. We hold the duality with everything. And I started to be able to accept that person was here at the same time as the person that didn't feel enough. And I started to bring them together using all the skills that I had. This inevitably started to release some resistance. So healing, going back, I was initiating forgiveness for all these moments that the younger part of me never ever felt valued or enough, or that her opinion mattered, or that she looked a certain way to have attention from other people. All of this, and it goes way deeper than this. I mean, we'd be here all night if I talked to you about every single moment I didn't feel enough, because there was a lot. But everything was being held together. And I started using the tools and techniques that I've learned, being able to take myself to a different outer perspective. And at that point, I could understand why I felt like that, or why the circumstance was showing itself to me that way. It makes sense now. It didn't back then. Just kind of brushed under the carpet. But what this was doing was clearing resistance, and it was helping me to really move through and understand that there were parts of myself that I had never given enough to, and I had to acknowledge that part of me and welcome her back. And that was really, really emotional. And there was a few days that Dave came home from work and was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I was like, "Everything's all right." And obviously I had the help from the wonderful Emma to help me through that. But a lot of that deep, dark point I had to sit with, and I had to embrace every fractal, every part of me that felt that not enough, and then also realize just how much all of these things were fueling the reason why I didn't feel like I was enough in my business, or that I would ever be able to sustain going forward. Now, as it started clearing resistance, it made me realize how much resistance that I had. And when we've got resistance in the way, energetically, it's holding us. We have to move through resistance before we can start to receive the next steps, receive the hearings, the learnings, the seeings, the way that you receive your intuition, or the way that you listen to your next steps forward. For those of you that aren't moving forward with your spirituality, but are looking for those next steps. We can't hear, see, or know those if we're stuck with all this resistance on top of us. It has to be dealt with. It's just going to be a holding pattern or a holding game. So I'd done the work. I'd sat with it. I'd done the healings. I used a lot of Theta Healing on myself, and a lot of conscious awareness. And since I'd sat with that time and that space, I then was able to start contemplating things. Other ideas were coming forward, not from that, but for the healing. What about when that happened? Oh, gosh, that's so similar to when that happened. And I know now why that is and what that means. And that's not the highest truth. I've always been enough. But I couldn't see it at that point. And then as these contemplations started happening, they started creating evidence for me. Evidence that I knew underneath it all that I am enough. But until you start healing those parts of you and realizing from the highest truth, do you think the energy of creation would ever tell you that you're not worthy? You're just worthy by being here, by breathing. The fact that you've been a part of this planet in a past lifetime, or you're here now, is enough. It's enough. The conversations that you have with your family, it's enough. The way that you hold your little girl or boy's hand, it's enough. If you have a business, it's enough. If you don't, and you work in the normal confinements of society, we all need people in those jobs. It's enough. It's another thing I want to talk about. I'm going to briefly touch on it now. We're in this spiritual existence, but not everyone has to have a spiritual career to be spiritual. We need people in all areas of life to walk the spiritual path to help others and shine a light. The way showers. And that's why if you're drawn to this work and you're not like, oh, I'm not sure I want to be a healer or whatever, that's probably why. Another subject for another day. The fact that you're contemplating these things is enough. But I ask you this. Have you ever pulled on the thread and really sat with it and thought about those times that you were not enough? So if you did do a little bit of the pre-work and you asked those questions, have you sat with it and really looked at it? Have you understood what you've made it mean? Have you understood where it came from? Really important things. I'm just going to turn my notes over. Make notes. So, these subjects, these things that we've been speaking about, do you feel like you have enough? Do you feel like you know enough? That you give enough? That you are spiritual enough? Those things, those topics, and it might not be within spirituality, it may be within the way that you look, the kind of mother or parent that you are, father that you are, the people that are there. Do you have that? Where is it in your life that you don't feel enough? So this is where it starts to get a little bit fruity. So I cleared the resistance. Is it done? No. But I'm enough knowing that. I've done enough work for now. And I know when I start feeling resistance, or I start feeling that something's not right or something isn't showing up, I need to look at where that is in me, not in anyone else. Not why is it not being shown to me? There's something energetically there that's stopping you, because we have to deal with what we need to deal with first before we can be given those next steps. So all the things that I'd felt, I'd revisited, I'd done the work. I've also since that started to hear whispers from my soul, but about the other ways that this is linked to me in past life. And that's my next kind of chapter, is just looking at healing some of those past lives, as well as what's been going on in this life that's all linked with enough or enoughness. But I did it. I moved. I sat with it. I gave myself, the younger versions of me, the many facets of me, I gave them that time. And I put myself first. Something that I haven't really ever done. And it felt uncomfortable. It really did feel uncomfortable, but I did it. I then started to, after spending so much time healing, I then started hearing and feeling the calls to go deeper. And this wasn't within the healing. It was time for me to start moving with the gifts that I have and what I'm here to do. And I hadn't heard that or felt that ever as strongly as once I'd done this enoughness work and I'd started moving through it. So I set the intentions, I trusted, I embraced everything that I'd been through, and the part of me that was starting to feel, know, see, hear and be enough, I started to move forward with that, all in one. Not me feeling not enough or having the enoughness here that I'm working on. I took it all with me. And in that moment of being and feeling enough as I was, knowing that I was going to grow anyway, knowing that I'd already been something else, but in the present moment, I set the intentions, I trusted, I embraced, and I stepped through into a new power, a new personal power. And what I didn't know at that point is just how much those steps there cleared more resistance, and this calling, this Laura, it's time to do some work on yourself now, I couldn't not listen to it. So having put myself first with this healing, I carried it on, and I was like, right, if I'm going to be operating a spiritual business, this has got to be my priority. You'd never expect someone in finance never to look at the accounts, would you? Or you never expect someone into McDonald's to go in and be like, nah, I don't flip the burgers. Don't do that part. So, but I work in McDonald's. No. So I changed everything. I literally sat in front of my desk, and I literally pulled everything apart and was like, I'm working, going back to basics. And the first thing, I kept everything clear. It's like, this week, all I'm doing is connecting. And something Emma had said to me before, how do you connect then? Where do you get your guidance from? And I was like, right, well, it's a knowing. I have claircognizance, it's a knowing. And I receive information from my team every now and again. And I connect every day, but I don't really have an intention. Or I do when I do it, but I didn't have a long-term intention. It was just, I need to connect today, I've got work to do, need to my chakras, need to cleanse myself, need to ask some questions, see if I get some guidance. There was no deep transformative intention for myself, and I changed it in that moment. And I was like, that hit me like a steam train. Now my claircognizance is very, very good. It's quite poignant and quite accurate. And I had been calling, or I had been listening or hearing the whispers of this since the summer. And I just still hadn't put it into place. I was putting the business and what I thought I needed before me the whole time. And I was like, I want to have a better connection. I want to be able to do this long term. And to do that long term, I had to change everything. So that week, I sat down and all I did was connect and find the way that I did it, that was given to me, the way that I learned, mixed with the way that I enjoyed, mixed with the way that felt right, mixed with the way that got me the most clear and concise clarity and intuition. And I did that over and over and over again. And the first time I did it, what I'll never ever forget. It was the turning point. And I'm going to explain it to you because it's just so cool. So I went into meditation, and my way of digesting things and being able to move through things fluidly is I love to have music on. Who loves to have music on when you're meditating? And I sat up at the music on, I closed the curtains, I lit my candles, things that I had done before, but I did them differently. There was a different personal power to me because I decided that I was coming first, and my work for me had to be paramount if I was to be able to give to others in the best way that I could. So I got into meditation, music was on, and as I sat down, I was like, I've got to turn the music off. I was like, okay, that was strong. So I turned the music off, and I sat down, took some breaths in, and I got told to lay on the floor. I was like, right, okay. Now this wasn't audio, like clairaudience. It is a type of clairaudience, but it wasn't like, so I didn't hear someone next to me, as you guys know. It came from within knowing, so it was a bit of a kind of mix between clairaudience and claircognizance. I was like, right, so I pushed the coffee table forward and I laid down on the floor, and almost instantly I was shown a female energy, and she was knelt down next to me, and she was rubbing my leg, and I have never felt something so apparent. I could feel, it was like she had her hand on my leg and she was rubbing it up and down with her thumb. I could feel it on my thigh. I even was like opening one eye. Am I going to see spirit? Like, no, okay, I can't see that, but I can feel it. Like, even with my eye open, it still carried on. I was like, this is it. This is flipping incredible. And as I was asking questions, I was told by another guide, no masculine energy, but nothing else other than that she is a guide of mine that will be healing others from the other side. And I said, okay. I said, is my path healing? And I got told uncircumstantially, yes, you are a healer. You're a very powerful healer, and you have a team that are going to be shown to you as and when the time is right. I was like, oh my God. And at that point, as soon as that kind of sentence had finished, I got taken very quickly through a portal in my heart to another space and time, where I saw a little bit more of this guide who was talking to me, who was masculine, who was very curt and very, very blunt. And there was no nonsense. It was like, we've been waiting, we've got stuff to do. It was loving. I didn't feel scared or, but it was like, the time is now. And I was told that I will be giving messages from them. My team will be working with my client or the people who I'm seeing with their team, which I know a lot of healers do, and that's how a lot of healers work. And I'll be using everything that I have learned from lifetimes and in this lifetime. And that I don't need to worry. I am the channel. Yes, Emma. I am the channel. I open the space, I set the intentions, I show up, and it will happen. And at that point, after that meditation, some other stuff, I got given some things as well, I've written it down. But at that point, from that meditation, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And I introduced this new offer of mine, which is a shorter period of healing. It's remote, so it's not done over Zoom, which is how I usually work. And it's at half the price, and I've been doing those, and I can't tell you how accurate they've been. The physical shifts that people have had within their healing, the information that's come through has been so perfectly divinely guided, and every single session has been related to soul. Every single session has been related to the soul truth, the soul things that are stopping them from being able to move forward, the things they need to be looking at right now and healing right now on their part, but also my part is to be the channel for my guides to come and work with them, as well as the creator, which is who I work with all the time. It's been so profound. It's been so profound. There is no way that I would ever have been able to receive any of that if I still felt that my work wasn't good enough, that I wasn't good enough. There's just no way. So it's all starting to make sense to me. From that moment, in the energy of changing everything, I changed my whole working week. I put structure into place to help. And I knew that I just needed to move one step at a time. I needed to dedicate myself to my own spiritual development for me, to be able to heal myself properly. We are our own clients. We have to be able to work on ourselves before we can ever expect to be able to help other people with what we're going through. We have to be able to value, enjoy, and know that our work is enough for us to be able to believe that in other people. The first thing that I wanted to speak to you about tonight, just before we get into the healing, which is coming up very shortly, is one of the main things that has contributed to this shift forward is putting this down. It concerns me, people that are running a business online, how much we need our phones. They are one of the biggest portals to holding our power as a business and tearing our own personal power down, because we are comparing every second of every day. If I had spent all that time not comparing and not looking for courses and not looking for teachers and not looking for this online back over Christmas and spent that on myself, I mean, who says we would be a different place? It would have happened anyway. But the amount that I would have got done. From that moment, I put timers on my apps. I don't go into my phone unless I'm in there on a purpose. Anything that I'm doing for my business is done on my laptop. And I have really taken all the time and all the energy of comparison away from this, to the point where the idea and the whispers that were coming through about what I was creating, I felt so strongly about it that I was like, I don't want it on the phone. I want it to be something that is not related to this or that. It's an experience for people, and they're not going to get that through that. Now I say this, and I know a lot of you are probably watching this video on your phone. You're watching this masterclass on your phone, which I understand. But I implore you to really think about how addicted you are to that. It's one of the main things that changed everything for me. Once I put timers on my apps, this sense of freedom, I can't tell you. I stopped walking past it and picking it up. Do you do that? You walk past it, pick it up and like swipe up and have a look and put it down again? How many people do that? If you take anything from this masterclass tonight, I implore you to look at how much you use your phone and if it's serving you. If you're finding people that are aligned to you, like I did and like we do, that's very different from being sucked into it. So I'll leave that with you. When we do that, all we're doing is giving our own personal power away. When you start to think about something and you start to get somewhere and you think, oh, that idea, or I started reading about that feels really good. You start spending a bit of time on you, start doing things for you. how fast is that ripped away from you when you pick that up and you start comparing yourself to other people? It pulls you completely out of alignment. You are enough. And your opinions are enough. And they're there for a reason. And that thing can pull you out of that quicker than you can believe. It just can. And I know some of you will be triggered by that, especially if we run businesses from our phones. Anyway, I wanted to take you through now into this healing meditation because it's incredible. And what I had found through this whole work is just how much I was connected back to my soul purpose, through my guides, through my connection, and through working through the resistance of enoughness. Like I say, it will turn up for you in your life in so many different ways. And this healing that I channeled this morning for you is going to connect you with that. So I just want to give you a minute just to think about what area in your life right now do you struggle with this issue of enoughness? Is it that you don't feel enough in the industry, as a mother, as a woman, that you don't feel enough, or that you can give enough, or that you have enough to give? Could it be your abundance and your money? There's just never enough. I really implore you to just think about that for a moment before we go into the healing. I'm going to have a sip of water. Has anybody got any questions before we go into the healing? Just while we've got a little brief moment, please type it into the comments. Is everything I'm saying making sense? Please do let me know. Feels so good to talk about it. So good. Any questions? No? Sixth Sense. Do you remember that film, Sixth Sense, with Bruce Willis and that kid? I see dead people. Oh God. Don't we all love? Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, Sarah. We've got to share, right? I know you feel that deeply. We have to, because it is for us first and foremost, but there are other people that are learning and benefiting from that. So, with that contemplation in mind about your enoughness, I invite you now to join me on a meditation where you can step into my area of expertise. You can step into my area of healing, the way that I work. I invite you in. It's nice and warm here. There's lots of candles. Please let me know if something goes alight. Okay. So what I would like you to do, that contemplation of enoughness, that area in your life that you feel it deeply, I'd just like you to place it in your mind's eye, not in your line of sight, just out of sight. Excuse me for a moment. And whilst you do that, get yourself nice and comfortable. So if you want to lie down, take your opportunity now to go and snuggle down somewhere, get a blanket, or if you like to remain seated with your feet on the floor, great. It's really good for connection, but it's not essential. It's not going to stop you from receiving. I have called in as I set up the space, like I mentioned right at the beginning, everything that is needed for this meditation. So all I encourage you to do is to be open-minded. The first thing that comes to your mind as I'm talking through this meditation, the first thing that comes to your mind, take that, use it, before your conscious mind starts to try and make sense of things. Alright? So as you get comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. And just focus on your breath. Just taking breaths in through the nose, fully expanding your lungs, holding at the top, and a slow release through the mouth out. Bringing your tummy all the way into your spine. And then again, breathing in through the nose, feeling the air, the cold air coming in through your nose, holding at the top, and breathing out very slowly, like you're blowing through a straw. This slow release breath lowers the cortisol levels and allows your blood pressure to stabilize. Beautiful, beautiful. I'd just like you to focus your attention on your heart space now. And as you bring your awareness from your breath to your heart space, you're just going to imagine the most beautiful glowing orb, your light. Just watch that beautiful orb travel down your body, from your chest, through your tummy, through your hips, down through your legs, out through the soles of your feet, creating beautiful thread-like roots that burrow and nestle down into the layers of salt, soil, mineral, rocks, crystal caverns, and just allow these beautiful, beautiful roots to burrow down through the layers of Mother Gaia, heading towards the center of the earth. If you tend to get a little bit spacey when you meditate, you may want to wrap some of these thread-like roots around rocks, around crystals that are nearby, just to anchor you into the earth a little bit. Then you're going to allow the energy from Mother Earth to start to travel up these beautiful roots. Mother Gaia, you may see this as a beautiful colour, a feeling, a knowing. Just allow this energy to start to make its way up and back towards the soles of your feet, coming in through the soles of your feet, into your ankles, through your legs, and up your body, around each vertebrae of your spine, lighting up each chakra as you go, your base, your sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye and crown, lighting each one up like a star as the energy travels through. And as it gets to the top and overflows out the crown, you're just going to allow it to start to collect into a ball of light, the most beautiful ball of light. And just watch your consciousness dissolve into this ball of light, the essence of you filter through into this beautiful ball. Or you may just pretend that you're inside this ball of light, a smaller version of you, whichever feels right for you. this ball of light to gather and shoot it up into the air, through the roof of your house, going higher and higher. This ball of light with the essence of you inside. And as it travels through the sky, you're going to see your house getting smaller and smaller, your roads getting smaller and smaller, your town getting smaller and smaller as you travel higher and higher. Going through the clouds now, and you start to see the curvature of the earth. Going through into the universe now, and you can see the beautiful moon, the sun, the stars, shooting stars, all the planets of the solar system, making their way, orbiting round. Travelling through these, going higher and higher. Higher and higher still. Coming out of the Milky Way galaxy now. And you can see all the other galaxies swirling around the deeper, greater universe as you travel higher and higher and faster. This universe will start to fold up on itself. Ascend through layers of light, bright lights and dark lights, bright lights and dark lights, bright lights and dark lights. And as you come through these layers of light, you're going to find yourself in the most beautiful golden light, golden energy, silky energy. This is the fifth plane. Ascended masters reside here, angels, guides, your soul family, the Council of 12. Light beings, ascended light beings, there are many layers here. You're going to make your way through this golden light and through the other side into a jelly-like substance with all the colours of the rainbow in, sacred geometry, vibration, truth. These are the laws of the universe. Law of time, law of cause and effect, law of magnetism. You're going to make your way through this jelly-like substance and out the other side. And out the other side is a pink mist, the law of compassion. And you're going to just very briefly stop here and allow this beautiful pink mist to dissolve into every single cell and molecule of your body as you travel through in this beautiful orb. Take a breath in and allow this to dissolve through you. Energy follows breath. This beautiful energy of compassion. Using your senses. Hear, see, know, feel. And then as you move through this, it's going to excel you and propel you forward. You may go through an entrance, a door, a window, a gateway. But beyond that is the most expansive, beautiful, brilliant, bright white light. And you're going to make your way straight to the center of this beautiful, bright white light that is pearlescent. It's tingly. It's the most expansive and purest thing you've ever seen. Most beautiful crystalline energy. And as you make your way higher and higher through this bright white light, this is the seventh plane, this is the energy of creation. When there's nothing around you now, and you feel like you're home, you're going to allow your ball of light to dissolve around you, and this will make you one and whole with the energy of creation. You may start to feel a charge and energy run through your body. At this point, whilst you're connected to the energy of all that is, knowing that you are one and whole with the energy of creation, you are a spark of divinity. The energy of creation resides in every single cell of your body, and it lights up. You're just going to stand here in this beautiful bright white light and ask the energy of creation to be connected to your soul for a healing on enoughness in the highest and best way for you and for the good of all, with grace and ease. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Show me. And at this point, you're going to allow your consciousness to come from the seventh plane, from this beautiful energy of creation, and go back to the golden energy that we passed through moments ago. This golden energy is the fifth plane. It is where your soul calls home. It's where your soul family, your soul mother, soul father reside. Just take your awareness back down to this golden light. And just be aware of the way that this golden light presents itself to you around you. Are you walking on gold? Is it a mist around you? Is it a golden room? Allow it to present itself to you in the best way for you. And as you start to gather your frequency here, you're just going to allow in front of you, see, feel, hear or know, a ball of light start to appear. A large, large ball of breathtaking light. This is light in its purest form, and this is the representation of your soul. I'd just like you to be aware now that underneath this soul, underneath this ball of light, is a ring, a circle of guides, helpers, all standing hand in hand, encircling beneath your soul here. Just take your awareness to this soul, your soul, and allow the soul to present to you the holograms, the fractals, any dense energy that holds the patterning of enoughness. Where does it show itself? What does it look like? For some of you it may be specks. For some of you it may be very tiny tears. For some of you it may be dense energy lingering around a certain part of the soul. Do you notice any feelings at this time? Is anything starting to produce itself around these fractals, these holograms, enabling you to see a little bit more of the story, what's going on here? This enoughness that's laced through your lifetime, that's imprinted on your soul. And moment, you're just going to ask in your mind, ask the energy of creation, ask your guides, your helpers, what is the highest truth here? What is it that I need to know? What is it that I don't see? What is the highest perspective? The highest and most purest truth? And just allow the bigger picture to present itself, to come forward so that you can understand what it is. Maybe it was that it was never meant to be or make you feel that way. Maybe it was showing you how deep you needed to love or value yourself in that moment. Maybe it was to be seen. But in the highest truth, you are always seen. You are always loved. And at this moment, we're just going to ask for our healing. I'm going to facilitate this for you. You can repeat after me or allow me to say it for you. I just need your permission. And you can say that by sending your energetic yes. Just by saying yes, that you give permission for a healing. Creator, creative energy, heal, resolve, transform on every level. My highest and best with grace and ease. Transform this enoughness. In the highest and best way. Thank you, it is done. Show me. And witness. Don't control it. Allow the healing to be presented to you in the best way. Allow yourself to witness how this soul is being healed from the creation energy. If you are struggling, if you're not being shown or seeing or feeling anything, allow the beautiful, crystalline, purest, pearlescent, bright white light to come down through your head, through your body, and out of your heart, in a beam of light straight into your soul, standing in front of you, connecting you with your soul. And as this happens, you're going to witness the light going through your soul and out the top of the soul, encasing it in the most beautiful, magnificent, bright white light. Completely surrounding everything with white light. Just witnessing anything that is ready to be healed in the highest and best way for you at this time, being completely transmuted and sent to the light. Witnessing every last bit disappear. then just feeling the warmth of the soul regenerating within you. Remembering, knowing that you are a divine spark of creation. This is your unique birthright to feel enough, to know that you are enough, and to believe that you are enough. I'm going to send some downloads to you now. If you would, these are channeled. If you would like to receive these downloads, just say yes at the end of each sentence. If you do not want the downloads, they will not come to you. Just take a breath in. Be open to any sensations as you say yes. Can Creator teach you in the highest and best way how to live life without feeling insufficient? That you know how, when, that it's possible, and that you already do. If you'd like this, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to live every single day in your life feeling enough? That you can, it's possible, and that you already do. If you'd like this, say yes. Would you like to know the Creator's definition, perspective, and understanding of what it is, what it means to be enough? From the highest perspective and the highest truth. If you like this, say yes. Would you like to know that it's safe to feel enough? It's safe to feel the Creator's perspective and understanding of these things. If you're feeling unsafe, if anyone has got that feeling in their solar plexus, in their stomach, this is for you. Would you like to know what it feels like to know that you no longer have to prove that you're enough? That it is your divine birthright to be enough? If you like these, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to remember that you are a spark of the divine? The energy, the frequency of creation resides, as it does, in the seventh plane, but within you. And that every moment, every single moment that you exist, you are enough. If you'd like this, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to be able to step into overflow? To be able to live your life, your daily life, within the energy of overflow as you move through enoughness? If you'd like this, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to clearly hear the callings of your soul in the highest and best way with grace and ease? And that you are enough to hear this? If you'd like this, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like that it is your divine right to be connected to your team and the Creator in every single moment in the highest and best way with grace and ease? If you'd like this, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to know that it can be fun and exciting to connect with your team and with the Creator. That you can is possible, and that you already do if you'd like to say yes. So at this point, we're just going to take ourselves back to that beautiful bright white light. And I'd like you to imagine the most beautiful sparkly shower. A shower of light coming down from you, cleansing you from the 7th plane, all around your body. Most importantly, cleansing your soul that you've worked with today, cleansing your heart space, the shower of light, sending droplets of light down onto your heart space, and just cleansing the portal that you have within your heart to your soul, cleansing it from the highest and best. And just imagine this beautiful shower of light, this cleansing shower of light to shower over your life, your loved ones, your pets, your family, the decisions that you feel like you're making, the new pathways that are unraveling themselves for you, cleansing them. And then at this point, we're just going to start to become aware of our heart space and start to take our awareness from this moment back into our heart space. If you'd like to express your gratitude, you may do it now. Just starting to become aware of where you are, that you're sitting down or lying down, taking a breath in. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. When you're feeling ready, grounded in your heart and in your body, you may just open your eyes. Beautiful. Take your time, there is no rush. If you feel you want to journal, or there's something that happened there that made sense to you, get your pen out, take a write, or if you want to put it in the comments and declare it, please do. This is for you in space. We were connecting to soul, but it was a facet of soul, the part that needs to declare itself for the healing tonight. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How's everybody feeling? As we all come back into the now, into this moment. Put these out of the way. Did you have any sensations that came in during the healing or the downloads? It's such a wonderful honour to be able to hold this space for you. You will have all had your own, even if you didn't see, feel, hear or know that they were there, your own guides, your helpers that were working with you at that time, just to ease and help and heal that element of enoughness. Now, like I said earlier, enoughness is laced through the landscape of so many things. And it can just show its head even when we feel like we've started to make progress with it. Amazing, Emma. Wonderful. Straight to the divine. This work that we did this evening, it will be helping heal. It won't be healing your deepest through wound. It will be introducing it to you and healing. I mean, it may have done. I say that it absolutely could have done. However, with most healings, there is an element of. Oh, you're so welcome, Zoe. There is an element of understanding the perspective of why it's been serving us, why we didn't feel enough. And this is something that we're looking into in my course that's coming up. So if you feel that the work we've done tonight has been really helpful, but there is other areas that this laces through, do get in touch, because this is something that we're going to be working on, which I'm really excited to lead you all through. This energy of resistance that I explained earlier on in my story, I know that for some of you there will be resistance in your life, whether it's not understanding what you're here for, whether it's not understanding your next steps, whether it's not understanding just some of the clarity that you desire to move through with. And that will come, the enoughness will be laced into that. So I invite you to reach out, to do this meditation again. If you feel you want to, it's going to be here forever, you can use it whenever. But to also connect with some of the areas that, as we've done this meditation this evening, there'll be other areas of enoughness that come up for your observation, your conscious observation. Some of them will feel like they need a bit more work, and this is when you can turn to this meditation. I encourage you to do some of the journaling before, just to give you an idea of what it's about, so that when you go into the meditation, you're able to really consciously set the intention of where you're releasing that enoughness from. Don't forget, although this is your work and your healing, you have so many guides helping you. When I did this morning, I was presented with this beautiful ring of guides holding hands underneath the soul, supporting it. That is something we all have, whether or not you are linked into it directly or not, it is there. So please, please, if you struggle to connect, if you don't know how to connect or reach your guides, again, reach out. There is so much that can be done through that. Now, everyone has their own way. This was a theta-led meditation this evening. If you have your own way, your own methods that feel so good to you, please use what you've learned, what you've remembered from this lifetime that helps you clear and heal, because there's a reason you know it. If you would like to learn more about Theta, please, I'm your lady. I teach the first 4 classes in Theta Healing. And this leads me very briefly to talk to you about the new experience that is coming in May. I'm holding a experience which is called the Becoming, and it takes you through the first 4 classes of Theta Healing with a certification, and it takes you on a journey of becoming through trust, through embodiment, through joy, through personal power. There is 4 classes that we learn, that we do Theta Healing with, which is a conversation in itself. Theta Healing will connect you to the energy of creation and help you heal yourself and others. It is incredibly fast and profound, and will open and acknowledge your own connection. It lends itself to holding and supporting everything else that you know and love to do with spirituality. It's not just theta. There is everything that intertwines into that. And then after that, there are 4 masterclasses that I'm holding. They will be quite different to this, but they will be laced and encoded with the healing that I do, that I give to my clients. That will be within that, and we will be walking through the landscape of enoughness through intention, trust, joy, personal power. And the reason it's an experience is because I'm holding this as almost in a ceremonial space. It's online, but there is an opening ceremony where we come together as a sisterhood, and there is a closing becoming ceremony, and in between you have the Theta Healing certification, as well as the 4 masterclasses, as well as the healings that I'm going to be giving to you, as well as there's many other meditations that I'm going to be popping in there, and other ways of being able to help. There's rituals that are going to be going in there, and this is all over the course of 6 months. It starts in May and ends in October. We learn Theta Healing up until July. We start our masterclasses in September. August is off for embodiment, and then we have and practice, and then we have our closing ceremony on the 1st of October. It is going to be the most transformational, held, intentional space that you will find, where you are going to be birthed into this becoming, connecting to your soul, working through all the landscapes of enoughness, allowing you to step into and listen to the callings of your soul, what you're here to do, your purpose, unapologetically, standing in who you are, using everything that you've learned in your own unique way. This isn't just about Theta Healing. This is about what lights you up. It's about your way of connecting, how you receive your guidance moving forward, and how you expand on that. I cannot wait to hold these souls through it. I'll pop the link below. I'm so grateful that you joined me this evening for my story, for the healing. If you have any questions or anything that you want to know deeper, or you'd like to have an appointment, or you just want to chat it through, please do reach out. I'm always around. If I don't reply, it's because my apps are down and I'm not being a slave to my phone, and I will reply very shortly afterwards. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being intentional with yourself and receiving everything that you needed this evening. And I'm just going to ask if anybody has any questions before I say goodbye. Oh gosh, that meditation has there were notes. I had notes made up because there was things I wanted to cover, but whew. Okay. Oh dear. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. That is actually a very good point. If this is your first time with Theta Healing, you're so welcome, darling. If this is your first time with Theta Healing, when we go into the Theta state, when we make our journey up to 7th plane, to the energy of all that is, we are entering into a Theta brainwave. Now that takes a sleep cycle to complete, which will be your sleep cycle tonight. You may find that you have an incredibly good night's sleep, like log, or, oh bless you, darling, you absolutely, I'll tell you that in a second. When we finish the sleep cycle, so you'll have a really, really, really good night's sleep, or it will be really restless. It'll be one or the other. It will be what it needs to be. You'll still be downloading as we complete the sleep cycle. It will finish tomorrow. Your cells and your cellular energy will still be decompressing. So give yourself some time, a couple of days. Be contemplative. Be considerate to yourself. Some people start to get the symptoms of a cold or a flu if you've had a really big shift, but you will start to really feel the difference tomorrow, especially with the downloads. There's new ways of feeling. You'll just start feeling in the next few days very different about things, and you'll be like, it doesn't seem to bother me like it did before. Or, gosh, the positivity levels of me are staggering, because all this energetic work, all this new feeling work is downloading into your cells, and you're able to start recognizing it as the time goes on. As your body does its biological thing, turns over the cells, that's what happens as we regenerate cells. It's got this new energy, this new healing, and that's what will happen. It will start to recognize and start to move forward with a new frequency, and that's when you'll start to really consider things and be like, this feels different. And I would love to hear actually about that. Please don't shield it from everyone. Share it with me. You can share it in the group. Stephanie, whenever we do this work, I say we, most healers, light workers, people who are creating space for people, in the quantum realm, in the realm beyond what we can physically comprehend, time doesn't exist. The law of time is a human universal law that we use. Beyond that, in other dimensions, everything's happening at the same time. I know that's a bit of a mind, but that's just how it is. When I set my work up, when I set the space up this evening, so whenever I have an appointment with anyone, a live, anything where I'm going to be facilitating some healing, or I've been told that I will be, I set the space up intentionally. That means I do my own journey into Theta, and I request that everything that I do serves everybody who watches this live, regardless of the time, regardless if they watch it 5 years after this, that they receive everything they need to receive. I command and request that the guides and the helpers are present that you need for your highest and best, for your healing in that moment of your enoughness. It's all set as an intention, so that when we do this work, when you revisit it, that you ask and it will be provided for. And that is the trust that we have. That is the energetic coding that we have for that. So it will work whenever you want to. When you feel that call, tune in. It will always be present. The healing will always be potent. Sometimes you can tune in and it is like beyond what you even thought. So give yourself some quiet time. About half an hour, I think it was, we started just before, maybe a little bit longer, to do that meditation. Contemplate what it is that you're looking at in terms of your enoughness, and allow it to be presented to you. Take your first thought. Your first thought is the first one. Absolutely. Another good time, now this is different for everyone, but another good time to do these kind of healing meditations is in the morning, when you've had your sleep cycle and your melatonin levels are starting to readjust, because we start to produce melatonin in the evening when we start to get tired. We have that risk of dipping into sleep then, which is, it's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, things will still happen. But when we wake up in the morning, we still have this melatonin level, but we're already started the day. So, you're so welcome, Stacey. There she is, my girl. It's a really good time, because when you first wake up, you're still not lucid, but you're able to comprehend and move yourself between consciousness in terms of the theta state, the theta brainwave, which is when we get into that deep state of theta. We connect to the cosmic and God consciousness, where healings happen in a second, like that. And that is the magic of theta, because you can heal beliefs and you can heal things in an instant when you get into that theta brainwave. And the morning's a really good time for that. However, everyone's different. So if you find that your best time to connect is at night time, you get your clearest guidance there, do that. Or stick it on when you get up as well. You'll be walking around like, I'm enough. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Come back and use this whenever you need to. I'm going to leave you now, because otherwise I will talk all night. If you know me, I could go on for hours. I wish you all the most love in the world. I will. You watch. You'll be like, right, shut up now. I wish you the most love in the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for yourself. And I'm here if you need anything. Take it easy, my loved ones. And we will speak very soon. Lots of love to all of you.